Bobcat Nation, I'm Craig McPhail, Vice President of Athletics, and this is This Week in Bobcat Athletics. Boy, do we have some fun for you today. Our men's basketball team has eclipsed the record for most wins in our conference, 12. They have eclipsed the most wins in a season, 16, and we still have 2 more games in the tournament to go, so everything's available. Folks, as you sit here and you watch this, I'm really hoping that you're able to come over and check us out. There are a lot of great activities that are happening. There's a buzz about the athletic department with the success that our basketball teams have had. Our spring sports teams are in action. You're going to get a chance to see some more of those folks as we go through the show today. But what I want you to do is figure out a way where you can share your time, talents, and treasures. Join the Bobcat Club. Come over here and be a mentor. I know everybody's got a little athlete in them somewhere. Showcase some of your skills and talents with our young people. I'm sure our coaches, myself, and others will be greatly appreciative. For now, let's stay tuned for This Week in Bobcat Athletics.
And welcome back to This Week in Bobcat Athletics. I'm Sports Information Director Chris Parker here with our friend Coach Steve Harden of the men's basketball team. Coach, 2-1 last week. Share your thoughts about how your team performed.
It was bittersweet. Naturally, I think Manuel, first one that we lost on the road, I think just coming off of that one, they're a great basketball team. We're fortunate. I think the conference is fortunate that they're not a certified NCAA member yet and eligible to play in the conference because they're probably the toughest team in the conference. I know that King is way up there, but Emmanuel's tough. They got some really good players. And I felt like, at home we did a good job of what we need to do to get it done.
You guys did beat Pfeiffer by 10. You guys only went in the half leading by 6. Just talk about your team's performance and how they came out in the second half and pretty much dominated.
I think Pfeiffer, they're tough, they're long, they're athletic, they're the same team as last year. We had struggled with them last year, and that's why we got beat by them by 1 at third place in the tournament last year, and that was just it's a rivalry game for us because we feel like we've been pretty close to them, especially last year, and then this year we wanted to make sure that we had the sweep on them so we didn't have any issues in seeding.
You guys traveled down to Belmont, another close game going into halftime again. Kendall hits the big half-court three-point shot.
Yeah.
Was that a designed play, or was it just kind of one of those he found himself open and it went in?
Oh, it was all designed.
Okay.
No, it's just he caught it at half-court and let it go. He took his step, and it looked pretty good when he let it go, and then it went in. That's probably the first time since I've been at Lee's McRae that we've hit a half-court shot, so that was, I think he's pulling his Steph Curry on that one.
Then you guys took the win at Belmont, but they played you guys pretty close within 10 most of the game. Were you a little bit surprised as to how close they played you after you handled them up here?
No. I think that on the road is always tougher in our conference, number one. Number two is towards the end of the year, everybody's really fighting for those seeding and not to take it lightly, but where we did our job early on, where we're in second, it's harder. It's a little more complicated to get these guys to understand that next step of making sure that you take care of teams earlier or they're going to fight, and it's going to be a war.
Before we get into the seedings, clocks hit zeros at Belmont Abbey. Did you realize it had it sunk in that you just set a school record again?
Did not. I think this team is just more on making a big run in the tournament, and at that time was still on winning the conference and winning the regular season. So all year long, we kind of knew it would happen by this team in the way we're playing, so we haven't made a big deal out of it, not near as much as last year, but we're going to talk about that today in practice. I think too many coaches and too many teams do not want to talk about any accolades because they want to wait till it's over with, but you got to enjoy the moment.
Definitely.
And I think it did sneak in when we went in the locker room to enjoy the moment. They've accomplished something huge right there, to break the school record, again, and those guys have did it for 2 straight years.
Right.
So that's a huge accomplishment. That's one of those huge first hurdles that's tough to do, and now we got to take that next step and win a conference game, tournament game.
Speaking of hurdles, before you get to conference game, which will be next week, you guys get King here.
Right.
We know how much we hate them. They hate us probably as equally. How is the team mentally prepared for this game, and how are you feeling going into tomorrow's battle?
I feel good. I feel like naturally, it's a rival game and you want to beat it. We treat it as that North Carolina Duke rivalry. We respect them a lot. I worked there at one point in time. I think that Coach Pitts does a great job, and the program has ran utmost respect for them and excellence, and they've been on top forever. But you want to beat the top dogs, and it's even better to beat the top dogs when they're your rival. So I think we'll be ready. I think we were ready at their place. We just couldn't make a shot, and luckily we haven't had that problem at home. We've stroked it at home. So as long as we can shoot the ball well and guard their guys that can do the same, then we'll be all right.
Yeah, you guys are 10-1 at home this year, which is a pretty good accomplishment in its own. Talked about seedings earlier. King has locked up the #1 seed anyway. You cut it. There's a dogfight 2nd to 4th. If you guys pick up a win tomorrow, you pretty much are settled in the 2, but you're in the driver's seat in the 2 seed. You don't want to look too far ahead, but how are you guys feeling where your seeding's at now, knowing that you do have at least one home playoff game?
I think just what you said, I think it's huge. I think we should be thinking nothing else but finishing 2nd. And like you said, if we can get this one done at home, which we've been successful at home, and then get the last one on the road, then that guarantees us, 2nd spot. But there's a lot of other variables that go into it that we can finish 2nd. And the way that I've been dissecting it for about months now, and the way that it looks is we're pretty much going to be 2nd or 4th just by the way that everything goes, which means we get a home game, and that is great. So everybody, please come out next Tuesday. I know we play this Tuesday for our last season home game against our rival King. We'd love to pack it out and have standing room only, and especially next Tuesday is going to be a conference tournament first round game. Will be the first time ever we have one at home. We would love to have that place packed out.
All right, Coach, thanks for spending some time with us. And you heard from Coach Harden, big couple weeks coming up for the Bobcats as they host King tomorrow night at 7:30. And then they will host, probably as the number 2 or 4 seed, as you heard, next Tuesday. Tip time is set at 7 p.m. Our opponent is to be determined. We will know that Friday. So please stick around for more of This Week in Bobcat Athletics.
Welcome back to This Week in Bobcat Athletics. I'm Vice President of Athletics Craig McPhail, and I've got my good friend here, Keith Mr. Jennings, our assistant men's basketball coach. Keith, glad to have you here today. Keith, we've been celebrating Black History Month, and I know that you have had an incredible career, and your impact on our young men has been great. Tell us a little bit about what Black History Month means to you.
It's a very important month. You get a chance to really sit back and think what the black people have done for us as a race, and then just for us as a community. And you got to feel good about it. And just growing up, my mother and father were definitely my role models. They did a great job of raising us and teaching us those family aspects of life that you need to learn early in your life, and then it'll grow on you, and then it becomes who you are. And so it's a blessing to be in this month, and it's great thinking about all the great people that have done positive things for us.
Keith, there's no arguing the facts. Basically, less than 10% of our student body are African American or minority. But the impact that you have with regards to your college career, you were probably on what was Cinderella's first team at East Tennessee State. Your NBA career and the success you had with some of the key players in the NBA. Talk a little bit about how you've been able to give back to some of our African-American young men and women through just your mentoring abilities by being a coach here at Lee's McRae.
Well, the key for me is just trying to make a difference. I grew up and I had a lot of positive people in my life that impacted me in a way where now that I'm older and I understand what they did for me, it's easy to give back to people that are definitely eager to learn from you. And that's one thing here at Lee's McRae. We got some young men and women, both on the men's basketball team and the women's basketball team, who I seem to mentor a little bit. And, just the everyday interaction and the conversations that we have, I can tell they appreciate it. And that just, makes me want to continue to do it. And being in this profession of coaching, that's the opportunity that we get.
When was the last time you got beat in a game of horse?
It's been a while, probably years.
One thing that you may do is you may mentor, but you're not going to let them beat you.
No. When you're a competitor, you try to make you try to have as much fun as possible and without destroying their confidence, but in the same way, let them know you're doing a good job. You almost won. You're getting there. So that little encouragement helps them a little bit. But, it's just definitely all out fun, and, I think they appreciate that also.
Well, Keith, I can tell you from my desk and my perspective, I have seen the impact that you've made on those young men and women on a daily basis, just by walking by a crowded office or seeing a gym at all different points of time with you and the trash cans out and the guys and girls running drills and so forth. So we're certainly glad to have you, and congratulations on this month. But it's an all year, every day scenario.
Yes.
It's not just this month. Well, that's one of the things that we want to try and use this opportunity and this platform to showcase. We're thankful for your skills and your talents and what you're doing for our young people here at Lee's McRae.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful opportunity. Coach Harden and Coach Juan, it's a great working relationship. It's fun to come to work every day. And like you said, Bobcat Nation is on the rise, and it's always good to be a part of something special. And I believe it's continuing to get more special here.
Absolutely. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more This Week in Bobcat Athletics.
Welcome back to This Week in Bobcat Athletics. We're going to recap the week that was and look forward to the week that will be. Men's volleyball lost a couple tough matches. John Sobel played very well as they traveled to Barton and Mount Olive. The women's lacrosse team opened up their season. Looked pretty good. They haven't been able to practice much outside, but however, they lost at Young Harris. Young Harris, a very good team in the Peach Belt. Softball went to Tusculum, dropped a doubleheader on Friday, and then they dropped a heartbreaker to UVA Wise on Saturday in Game 1. The Cavaliers had to use a walk-off hit to get past them. And then in Game 2, UVA Wise took that one 5-0. The track and field team was at Winston-Salem at the JDL Fast Track, and they had 7 kids crack the top 20, so good performance by Coach Lee Fletcher's squad. And looking forward, they'll be participating in the Conference Carolinas Indoor Track and Field Championships, and that will take place in Winston-Salem and on Sunday. For men's lacrosse, their game against Lincoln Memorial was postponed due to weather. They will travel to Alderson Broadus on Saturday, and that game is slated to start at 1 p.m. Women's basketball team lost a close one to Pfeiffer here last Monday, went to Belmont Abbey and put on a clinic. Mackenzie Blankenship and Bria Forbes both set career highs in points. The Bobcats set a season high with 90 points overall. They won at Belmont Abbey for the first time in at least 10 years, so a great win by the Bobcats there. They went and lost a tough one to Emmanuel. It was tight pretty much until midway through the fourth quarter. As you've seen, we've talked to the men's basketball coaches with Coach Harden and Coach Jennings. Basketball set the school record for wins, so tip of the cap to them. They got their 12th conference win as well. They played last Monday as a makeup game, and after that victory, we had a chance to talk with Coach Steve Harden.
And welcome back to the Lee's McRae Bobcat Game of the Week. We're here with Coach Steve Harden. Coach, big win against Pfeiffer. Talk about your team's performance.
It was a gritty performance. We struggled with Pfeiffer for 2 years. They had the same team they had last year, for the most part, and they're so long and athletic. But we did knock down a lot of shots. We're much better at home knocking down shots today. Helped us get the win. I thought we were gritty. We were tough on the boards as well.
Season high 18 made threes after you set a season high of 17 made threes on Saturday. Has it been a change in your game plan, or the shots just finally falling?
I think they're just falling, and they're just figuring out how to play with each other, for the last part of the season, finally making that extra pass to get a wide open one. And on coaching staff, between Coach Jennings, myself, and Coach Juan, we're all 3 shooters, so I guess they just go with the way their coach is.
You guys took a 6-point lead into the break, then came out, and I believe you had a 19-6 run to start the second half. How did that help build momentum going into this win?
That was huge. Our guys are growing up, even though we were just ahead by a little bit, we were pretty hard on them at halftime, and they were hard on each other. They understand the value of late time and how we got to be good. So I think we're growing up, and hopefully we can finish strong with these 4 left.
5 games straight, Austin with 20 points or more. We've talked about him all year.
Jeez.
What can you say about your senior?
I mean, their coach said it best. He said he's averaging 20-something in the conference right now, and his stats are ridiculous. I mean, I just think he's player of the year. He's one of those lucky guys that we got to get, a senior that's just came in and also been a great leader and a captain.
Last question. You guys are about to play your third game in 6 days when you travel down to Belmont Abbey. How are the guys feeling? I mean, the weather's kind of been unpredictable, but I mean, this is a pretty tough stretch for you.
I think it's we're in the NBA schedule, so we got to make sure we rest. I got to make sure practice is short and we understand not moving a lot to be able to go. But we play a lot of people, so we're built for that. But at the same time, we got to make sure we're just better at it and understand it. And it's going to be tough. Belmont Abbey is fighting to get in the tournament, so it's going to be their Super Bowl and it's also their senior night. And then the same thing with pretty much most of the games we got left. So we need to understand like it's like a tournament.
And speaking of the tournament, I believe this pretty much guarantees a home game,
right?
At least in the opening round. And you guys have averaged, I'd say, about 96 points a game your last 5 games here. What does that mean to be able to play at least one more in the postseason here at home?
Oh, it's special. It's special just where we've been and where we've came to. And I mean, just the point of actually winning 11, we just now broke the conference record of all time, you know, for us to win the most games here at least McRae in the conference, and then also to get a home game.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I can remember when I first came here and stuff, just us getting in the tournament was a major deal. We only been in the tournament twice, so naturally being able to actually get a home game is just huge for the program.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
And then after we spoke with Coach Harden, we got to talk to senior Austin Anderson.
And welcome back to the Bobcat Game of the Week. We're here with senior Austin Anderson. Austin, 5 straight games, 20 points or more. What you got going for you?
Just been getting in the gym, feeding off my teammates' passes, getting more confidence from them. So and everybody else is shooting well, so that helps a lot.
Speaking of, Zach comes off the bench, 4 for 4 from three-point land. What can you say about his play throughout the year?
Everyone kept confidence in him. Even when he wasn't knocking down shots, he was mainly frustrated, so we tried to pick him back up. He stayed in the gym as well, and he finally found his rhythm, and it helped us a lot tonight.
Pfeiffer hung in there in the first half. You guys go into the lead, into the half with a 6-point lead. Then you come out and punch him in the mouth, 19-7, I believe. What did Coach tell you in the locker room?
That we weren't playing our game in the first half. Early we were playing rushed, had a bunch of turnovers, and then he told us to slow down, get stops, come out, and just attack them.
This one pretty much guarantees a home playoff game. I believe in your last 4 home games, you guys are averaging about 95 points. What's it like playing in this gym with this crowd and scoring that much?
Ain't nothing like home. You know, you get familiar with these rims, you know how they bounce and stuff like that. So home court advantage, it helps.
All right, you got another quick turnaround. You're going to have your 3rd game in 6 days at Belmont Abbey. How are you feeling? How's the team feeling?
We're feeling pretty good. We're not, you know, we got a little light practices coming up, so we just got to get ready for Belmont Abbey, but we're feeling pretty good.
All right, thanks for your time, Austin.
And we also had a chance to speak with Zach Wilmoth, who went 4 for 4 from the field, all with 3-pointers.
And welcome back to the Bobcat Game of the Week. I'm here with sophomore Zach Wilmoth. Zach, 4 for 4 from three-point land off the bench. What was working for you tonight?
Really, it was just my teammates giving me the ball. I've been struggling lately, and they really just, after I hit one, they were just really finding me, helping me out a ton with my confidence.
You guys hit a season-high 18 three-pointers. Is that something you guys have been working on and during practice, or is it just the shots have been falling for you?
I think that's just who we are this year. Like, we tend to be, you know, like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, we look for each other, and just tonight it happened to be that we were wide open, and we found the open person, and we just hit some shots tonight.
Pfeiffer's always a tough game. I mean, you won by 4 down there. They knocked you guys out last year by 1 point. How good did it feel to beat them by a solid 16, 17 points tonight?
It felt great. Coach just, I mean, he brought it up again at halftime how we had never like blown them out, and they were always right with us. And so I think our guys just kind of took that to mind, and we really came together and just took a big lead and won it.
Yeah, you guys were up by 6 going into the half. You come out, and I believe you had a run where you got up about 14 or 15. It seemed like everybody's moving the ball pretty well. Can you just talk about what it's like to be on the floor with Austin as he scored 25 again tonight?
It's just, it's a great feeling. He makes it so much easier on everybody else. Like, he hits a couple shots and everybody's focusing on him, so it really makes it a lot easier for everybody else to get into the action.
Last question for you. You guys are about to play your 3rd game in 6 days when you go down to Belmont Abbey. How are you feeling, and how's the team feeling with just so many games in so few days?
I mean, we're obviously a little worn down, but I think everybody's still feeling really great about the season and really excited about how we can end the season.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on the Bobcat Game of the Week.
As you saw with Coach Harden, we have a big game against King tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. It'll be our last home game of the regular season. We are guaranteed a home game, which will be next Tuesday, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in next week's show. The Bobcats did pick up a win at Belmont Abbey, and then they lost another tough one at Emmanuel. And the tennis teams, they are traveling to Tusculum today. So a lot going on with our Bobcat athletics. So if you have any questions about schedules, rosters, or statistics, be sure to visit our website at lmcbobcats.com. And we'll be back with Coach McPhail to wrap things up.
A little sloppy as they turn the ball over, and the Bobcats come back in transition. Wilmoth in the corner, it is good. Cut by Gaither inside, he swings it out to Wilmoth, and it's good. And Anderson looks to answer with his own three. Anderson looks to isolate, get back in the paint.
Take by Anderson,
and it's
no
off,
good.
but they secure the rebound out to Wilmoth, and he lets it go.
Three-pointer by Wilmoth.
Lynch catches the ball on the wing. 10 seconds left. Drives in and one. Crabtree catches the ball, lets it go, and it's good. Shot clock expiring. And Honore is going to bring the game to an end. Bobcats win 89-72.
That is the game, and this has been broadcasted to you from the Williams Gymnasium, Lee's McRae Game of the Week.
As we come to a close on another great episode of This Week in Bobcat Athletics, I'm left to reminisce about the wonderful people who are here. As a parent, I think the world of our coaches, our staff, our student athletes, and I think about the incredible responsibility, the burden they have to provide an integral relationship through intercollegiate athletics. Life lessons are taught through sports every day. We see that with early morning practices or late night trips, and they still have to be accountable for the classroom participation. I'm really pleased with the group of people that we have here representing Bobcat Nation, Lee's McRae, its growth, our athletic department, and where we're headed. My hopes are you are too. My hopes are you want to be involved, invested, engaged. If that's the case, please join the Bobcat Club. Please come to a home event. Please figure out when you see one of our coaches in the grocery store, at the bank, getting gas. Stop by and say thank you for the job they're doing, because the mentoring they're doing to our young people is making an incredible difference. Be an impact player. Be a difference maker. It's on you. It's on us. For now, that's all, Bobcat Nation. Stay tuned more next week with This Week in Bobcat Athletics.